Hello, my name is Gary, and I was raised in the Western United States, so I'm a native English speaker. I hope that you will enjoy this YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us.
The Tale of Ginger and Pickles, Beatrix Potter, 1866 to 1943. Once upon a time, there was a village shop called Ginger and Pickles. It was a small shop, just the right size for dolls. Lucinda and Jane, doll cook, always bought their groceries there. The counter inside was the perfect height for rabbits. Ginger and Pickles sold red, spotty pocket handkerchiefs for a penny and 3 farthings. They also sold sugar, candles, and galoshes. Despite being so small, the shop sold almost everything, except for a few things you might need in a hurry, like shoelaces, hairpins, and mutton chops. Ginger and Pickles ran the shop. Ginger was a yellow cat, and Pickles was a dog. The rabbits were always a little bit scared of Pickles. The shop also had some mouse customers, though they were a bit wary of Ginger. Ginger often asked Pickles to help them because he said just seeing them made his mouth water. "I can't stand watching them leave with their little bags," he said. "I feel the same way about rats," Pickles replied, "but it wouldn't be good for business to eat our own customers." Sorry, that's a wonderful sentence. "They'd just start shopping with Tabitha Twitchit instead." "They wouldn't go anywhere else," Ginger replied sadly. Tabitha Twitchit ran the only other shop in the village. She didn't offer any credit. Ginger and Pickles offered unlimited credit to their customers. In this case, credit means that when a customer buys something, like a bar of soap, instead of paying right away, she promises to pay later. Pickles then gives a polite bow and says, "With pleasure, madam," recording the transaction in a book. Customers come back repeatedly, buying more and more, even though they're a little intimidated by Ginger and Pickles. But there is no money in what is called the till. Customers came in crowds every day, buying in large amounts, especially those who loved toffee. But there was never any money. They didn't pay even a penny for a peppermint. But the sales were massive, 10 times greater than Tabitha Twitchit's. As there was always no money, Ginger and Pickles had to eat their own goods. Pickles ate biscuits, and Ginger ate a dried haddock. They ate by candlelight after the shop closed. By January 1st, there was still no money, and Pickles couldn't afford a dog license. "This is very unpleasant. I'm worried about the police," said Pickles. "It's your own fault for being a terrier. I don't need a license, and neither does Kep, the collie. It's very uncomfortable. I'm afraid I'll get a summons. I even tried to get a license on credit at the post office," said Pickles. "The place is crawling with policemen. I ran into one on my way home." "Let's send the bill to Samuel Whiskers again, Ginger. He still owes 22 out of 9 for bacon." "I don't think he intends to pay at all," replied Ginger. "I'm sure Anna Maria has been taking things. Where are all the cream crackers?" "You ate them yourself," Ginger replied. Ginger and Pickles went into the back room. They worked on their accounts, adding up sum after sum. "Samuel Whiskers has run up a bill as long as his tail. He's bought 1 ounce and 3/4 of snuff since October. That's 7 pounds of butter at 1 shilling and 3 pence, plus a stick of sealing wax and 4 matches." "Send all the bills out again to everyone, with our compliments," replied Ginger. After a while, they heard a noise in the shop, as if someone had pushed something through the door. They came out of the back room and saw an envelope lying on the counter, and a policeman writing in a notebook. Pickles almost had a fit. He barked and barked, making little lunges forward. "Bite him, Pickles, bite him," Ginger spluttered from behind a sugar barrel. "He's only a German doll." The policeman kept writing in his notebook, occasionally putting his pencil in his mouth, and even dipping it in the treacle once. Pickles barked until he was hoarse, but the policeman didn't react at all. He had bead-like eyes, and his helmet was stitched on with thread. Finally, Pickles realized the shop was empty. The policeman had vanished, but the envelope was still there. "Do you think he's gone to a real policeman?" "I'm afraid it's a summons," said Pickles. "No," replied Ginger, opening the envelope. "It's the bill for rates and taxes, £3.19. "That's the last straw," said Pickles. "Let's close the shop." They put up the shutters and left, but they stayed in the neighborhood. Some people even wished they'd gone further away. Ginger lives in a cozy burrow now. I'm not sure what he does for work, but he looks well-fed and comfortable. Pickles has become a gamekeeper. The shop's closing caused a lot of inconvenience. Tabitha Twitchett raised her prices by a halfpenny and refused to let anyone buy on credit. People could still buy from the butcher, fishman, and Timothy Baker's cart, but you can't live on seed wigs, sponge cake, and butter buns forever. After a while, Mr. John Dormouse and his daughter started selling peppermints and candles. But they didn't have self-fitting sixes, and it took 5 mice to carry a 7-inch candle. Their candles also melted strangely in warm weather, and Miss Dormouse refused to take back any leftover candle pieces when customers complained. Mr. John Dormouse, when asked, just stayed in bed, saying, "Very snug, not the best way to run a shop." So everyone was thrilled when Sally Hennypenny announced she'd reopen the shop with a big sale. Henny's opening sale. Penny prices. Come buy, come try, come buy. Her poster was very tempting. On opening day, the shop was packed, and mice crowded around the biscuit jars. Sally Hennypenny got flustered counting change and insisted on cash payments. But she's harmless. She stocked an impressive range of bargains. There's something for everyone. The Sly Old Cat by Beatrix Potter. This is a sly old cat who hosted a tea party for a rat. Here comes the rat, dressed in his best clothes, stepping down the stairs. They had their tea in the kitchen. "How do you do, Mr. Rat? Will you sit in this chair?" said the cat. "I'll eat my bread and butter first," said the cat, "and then you can have the crumbs that are left, Mr. Rat." This is a very rude way to treat a guest, thought the rat to himself. "Now I will pour my tea," said the cat, "and you shall lick up the drops left in the milk jug, Mr. Rat." "And then I will have some dessert," added the cat. "I believe she's planning to eat me for dessert. I wish I hadn't come," thought poor Mr. Rat. The greedy old cat tipped the milk jug, not wanting to leave a single drop for Mr. Rat. But the rat jumped onto the table, gave the jug a tap, and it slipped down snugly over the cat's head. Then the cat stumbled around the kitchen with her head stuck in the jug, while the rat sat on the table, sipping tea from the mug. He packed a muffin in a paper bag and went on his way. And he ate the whole muffin in one sitting. So that was the end of the rat's visit, and the cat finally broke the jug against the leg of the kitchen table. And that was the end of the cat's tea party.